Turnbull government is clamping down on refugees who arrive by boat, giving them just months to apply for asylum or be kicked out of the country. Lawyers and advocates say it's draconian and dangerous and that some could be sent home to face persecution, even death. Lane Calcutt explains.
There are, Peter Dutton says, 7,500, some here for 5 years, who haven't applied for asylum.
Those people who are fake refugees.
They now have 4 months or be kicked out.
Their visas will be cancelled and they will be deported from our country.
They'd be banned from re-entry, denied any Australian visa and refused welfare support that cost, the Minister says, $250 million last year.
As taxpayers, we don't want to be taken as mugs.
I think we have to get tough.
And Pauline Hanson couldn't agree more.
Yes, they should be sent back, and Australians will applaud that. A lot of these people, they haven't fled their country for their life. They've come here for a new way of life.
I just think we need to go through this calmly and methodically and fairly.
Supporters say they could only begin applying in November, and they've been blocked by deliberately complex procedures and a lack of legal advice.
The slip of a pen could be a death sentence. They could be sent back to places of danger like in Afghanistan or Syria or Iraq. I mean, that could not only violate rights, but endanger lives.
Bring them here, let them stay.
The protests have already begun.
These are the people who are going to be literally pulled by armed police officers and immigration officials out of schools and communities, thrown into detention centres, shackled and deported.
The issue will come under scrutiny this week in the budget sittings of Parliament as the government begins the job of trying to pass the bank tax, Medicare levy increase and education reforms. Lane Calcutt, 9 News.
Immigration Minister Peter Dutton is cracking down on the people he calls fake refugees who arrived illegally by boat and are on government benefits. He's given them a 4-month deadline to sort out their paperwork or face deportation.
He's made tough border policy his trademark. Today, Peter Dutton toughened the system further still, targeting
those people who are fake refugees.
Asylum seekers who reached Australia before the 2013 border clampdown but are yet to apply for protection as a refugee.
We are going to set a deadline for those people.
The Minister says for 7,500 people involved, the deadline is non-negotiable. Get the refugee application done or...
Well, their visas will be cancelled and they will be deported from our country.
Peter Dutton says even as they wait for deportation, the so-called fake refugees will have Medicare, work rights and access to schooling, but will lose all income support.
If people think that they can con the Australian taxpayer, then I'm sorry, the game's up.
Afghan 21-year-old Haji Alizada says it's like having a gun held to his head.
If I return myself, my life is going to be in danger. And the same thing, it's going to be on a lot of other people.
Yes, they should be sent back, and Australians will applaud that.
Bring them here, let them stay.
But for many who work with refugees, the Dutton deadline is incendiary.
And he will not touch one hair on their heads.
Successive governments have left these people in limbo for years without allowing them to apply.
Now, say refugee advocates, the group is denied the legal help it needs to complete a complex application process. Labor backs the government on this, but says Minister Dutton is playing tough guy to win over fellow Conservatives.
It's about Peter Dutton putting his name in the paper, angling for the Prime Ministership.
Tim Lester, 7 News.